guys.
This is Kayla.
I'm Becky, and we are a couple of bees that read and review books, and we also review wines.
Yes, and this is our weekly wine. So what's the wine this week, Becky?
Well, this is an extra special wine. It's called Velvet by Middle Jane, because the best wines always taste like velvet. So soft and smooth, but bold in texture. So it's beautiful red velvet.
Oh yeah, it looks like red velvet.
It's super. Okay. Wow.
Oh, that's delicious.
That's one of the best wines I think I've ever had.
Yeah, that's because it's got a sweetness to it, but it's not overpowering.
No, it has a fruitiness. It has you can taste the strawberry. You can taste like chocolate covered cherries. I always think my grandfather loved those little chocolate covered cherries, and when I taste of it, I remember he always wanted those for Christmas. I mean, that was, you know, not a very expensive gift, but he loved those things. And he, that's what brought to mind when I tasted. I thought, that tastes just like those things. Because he also wanted all the grandkids to stand around and he would shell it out, you know, to all of us. So he wanted to share. So, but that is exactly the taste. It's just, that it's fruity and bold, but it has that sweetness to it, but not too sweet. And it goes really well with dark chocolate, which I wished I had some right now. And it goes, also pairs well with, believe it or not, barbecue and spicy Asian food.
I could see that.
Yeah,
I could see that.
So it's a really good wine, and it is a limited edition. So if anybody wanted any, they still had some a couple of weeks ago. So they would really have to order it quick.
Right. So if you want this, you need to go to the link under the video soon, because it is special edition and it will be going quickly. So as for the book this week, and I'm really excited about this one. It's The Lucky One by Jessica Payne. And I read her first book when it came out. I was able to get it on NetGalley. And I wasn't able to get this one on NetGalley, but I was really excited about it. It is about Norah Silverton, who on prom night, her and her friend are taken by a serial killer. She never sees his face. She witnesses him kill her friend, and she is able to escape him. But she's lived 10 years kind of in the shadow of that crime because they were never able to find the killer. So this story picks up 10 years later. She has grown. She's no longer that teenager that she was, and she has become an MMA fighter.
Oh, wow.
And coach. She was apparently too good of a fighter and she didn't want the publicity, so she became a coach. And her father dies, so she is called back to town and has to go back to town 10 years later. And when she's back in town visiting her friend, after her father's death, one of her other high school friends is killed in the same manner.
Oh, wow.
And she stumbles upon the body, and that sort of sets the story off. So she knows that it's the killer. His name is Hansel. That's what the serial killer's pseudonym is, because he leaves breadcrumbs up to his victims. So very creepy, very creepy.
It sounds creepy.
Yes, but you've got this really awesome heroine to go on this ride with, to have this adventure with, and I think that really makes up for it, because I mean, I'm a thriller fan. I can handle the creepiness, but I would also recommend this to someone who is just, you know, kind of a thriller fan.
So somebody like me.
Yes, I would definitely recommend this.
I don't like the gore and
no, it's
stuff.
Not gory. It's not descriptive in its goriness.
Good.
It just you know, it is a creepy crime, and she basically has to find out who this killer is before he comes for her or comes for any of her other friends.
Okay.
So it's really interesting. The twist at the end is, I really can't say much about it.
I'm going to read it, so don't spoil it for me.
The twist at the end is perfect.
Okay, great.
It is a perfect twist. It's one of those things that you will keep turning the pages the whole time. I finished this, I think, in a day, actually, because I borrowed it from you.
Yes.
But then it took me a while to start it. And once I got started, I really couldn't put it down. It was so good.
That's great.
So 5 stars from me. I highly, highly recommend The Lucky One by Jessica Payne. Whether you're a fan of the whole serial killer thriller or not, just because the characters are so unique and interesting. And it's nice to have a sort of a final girl character who is an MMA fighter. Like, you know, she can handle herself.
I was going to say, yeah, she's not like that little high school girl before.
No.
She maybe going to kick his butt.
Exactly.
Good.
And
that's good.
And she makes some pretty smart choices too. Like, I think so often in this genre, the girl's being chased and she goes up the stairs instead of down the stairs and all this craziness. No, she makes some pretty smart decisions. I would love to see this in a movie form. I think would be really cool.
Oh, that's great. Well, I look forward to reading it. It sounds very interesting.
Absolutely. And I highly suggest you get a copy. You can get it on Kindle. You can get the paperback edition. I've seen it in stores everywhere. So make sure you check out The Lucky One by Jessica Payne. And until next week, have a great week, guys.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.